And joining us now on the show, we have DepEd Assistant Secretary Jocelyn Andaya to discuss the Kaagapay Program and the agency's priorities for this year. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, ASEC.
Good morning, Gretchen. Good morning to our viewers. Happy sunny day.
Happy Thursday. It is a Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Okay. The Kaagapay Program was formally introduced under DepEd Memorandum Number 002 for 2026. Tell us all about what this Kaagapay Program is all about, and what does bullying prevention, values formation, and learner support under it really mean?
Yeah, thank you. We all know that our learners are our priority, and their well-being is always a concern of the Department of Education. And under the leadership of Secretary Sani Angara, we're trying to ensure that the environment is safe and secure for our learners. And it's not just in the school, but also in the community and in the home. And that's why Kaagapay, which is a parent engagement program, will be implemented in collaboration with CSOs and even NGOs. It's really primarily designed to encourage parents to work with the Department of Education, specifically with the school, in ensuring that our learners are guided not just in the school but also in the home, because we all know that most of their time is also, our learners' time is also spent at home. And through this Kaagapay program, we will, of course, train our parents and even give them a platform to discuss amongst themselves as well, and guided by our partners, best practices on learner formation, protection, well-being. And you said it earlier, that it's also about providing social and emotional support, positive discipline, behavior guidance, and then bullying awareness. And in speaking about bullying, we know that there were several incidents, especially last year, on bullying. And it's important for our parents to also talk to their children, especially when these children are at home, and spot if there are some concerns or issues. Because sometimes the children do not talk about these things with their parents. And it's important for the parents to really be sensitive and to guide their kids in trying to open up to them, so that these incidents will be mitigated.
Have you
So
been
basic
able to figure out the root causes of bullying, the problem of bullying in school? Kasi we do know that parenting is also one of the things that could produce the situation at home. And so, how do you capacitate the parents and guardians who will be the primary proponents of this Kaagapay program?
Yeah. We have scheduled several trainings for our parents, and this in collaboration with some of our partners like Save the Children, Teach for the Philippines, World Vision, so that they are capacitated. We have earmarked specific dates where they can be trained to handle these issues and concerns. To familiarize themselves also as regards properly handling their child's concern if it reaches that point.
Oo. Ano pong ituturo dito sa Kaagapay Program?
Parents.
Sa training sa mga parents?
We will
Is it
provide
going to
our
be...
parents
go ahead.
with clear orientation on learner protection policies, including bullying prevention, discuss positive and non-violent discipline practices. We will deepen our parents' understanding of learner behavior, psychosocial development, and mental health, and clarify how parents can work with schools in identifying and responding to learner concerns. And we plan to establish clear communication and coordination mechanisms between parents and schools, so that they themselves can also inform other parents about these coordination activities that we're doing for them.
Oo. But this assumes that the parents will have time to do all of this. Alam po
Correct.
natin na ngayon ang mga pamilya ngayon, two-income families na yan most of the time. There are housewives who stay at home to look after the children, but given the economic pressures, no, how did you take that into account into this the implementation of this program?
Yeah, we're flexible about the program. We will take a look at the available time of the parents. And the training isn't just face to face; it's also online. And so, if the parents cannot really come to school, then we will provide online capacity building for them, or we schedule it on a Saturday. In other words, we will try to make sure that we will be able to let them come on board on a time that they are free. It's important for them also. They must realize it's also important for them to set aside even just a simple, a couple of hours to participate in this program. We know, well, palasak na ito, pero it really takes a village to educate a child. So it isn't just the parents, it's actually the community, the CSOs, the teachers involved in this particular endeavor.
Okay.
So
You
again,
mentioned,
kung
no?
medyo busy ang magulang, sorry, so,
Go ahead, ma'am.
kung busy ang magulang, meron tayong iba-ibang modality in order to do that. Pwede siyang online, pwedeng Sabado, at any convenient time for the parents.
And is
Meron
this a
din po tayong
module?
leaflets na
This
ipamimigay sa kanila so that they can also read.
is this a module that they would have to go through?
Yeah.
And how many sessions?
Yeah. At the moment, wala pa tayong kung ilang sessions sila. We're just saying na 2 days muna yung parental engagement talaga. So, kung dadagdag pa po yun, hindi pa namin nakikita. Pero ang 2 days, napakahalagang orientation po for them.
Okay. How will the 100 million peso budget be distributed between central oversight, regional training, and actual resources for individual schools? Is the list of organizations that you mentioned a while ago part of that budget distribution?
Correct. We have parent engagement sessions. We also have printing of toolkits and other advocacy materials, and also the training of facilitators. And this 100 million will be downloaded to our division, to our regional offices. And they'll be the ones to conduct it. So, for instance, in Region 1, there's a certain amount like 5 million that will be given to them in order for them to do this kind of activity. It will be distributed over 17 regions.
Oo. Tapos, ang magtuturo ho ay itong mga Save the Children, World Vision.
Yeah.
Oo.
In coordination with us. So, we'll be trained also so that we can have so many trainers that can help our parents.
Oo. In your research, does it come out that there is a hunger for this type of training amongst parents?
Yes, yes. There are many parents that are really interested because some of them really experience particular problems as regards attendance of their kids in schools for several reasons. One of which is really to cope with anti-bullying bullying incidents, at the same time mental health issues.
So meron pong kagustuhan na matuto kung paano mag-handle nung modern day problem. Actually, matagal na ho yan, pero ngayon nani-name na ho natin. But how do you plan to measure the success of this program? In what specific metric would that come?
One, I think, is parent engagement. The participation is a good indication that really the interest is there. Number two is consistency of course, the engagement with us, and hopefully that there will be minor incidents of bullying, and at the same time we're able to address the mental well-being of our learners. Ultimately.
Okay, paano naman ho yung mga bata na may problema sa pamilya? I mean, medyo ibang situation po yun no? How would you deal with that?
Meron po din tayong proseso para diyan. We're making sure that our advisor, classroom advisor, our teachers, and our guidance counselors are
Mm-mm.
able to detect such and are able to provide guidance also. So there's a
Mm-mm.
separate process for that as well. And that's why it's important that the homeroom program and our um, lessons on values formation and the like will come into play.
Mm. And speaking of guidance counselors, there is a 2.9 billion allocation for school-based mental health for DepEd. What specific percentage of this fund is dedicated to hiring new guidance counselors? We do know there is a sore lack of guidance counselors, and sometimes or many times the responsibilities get transferred to the teachers.
Uh, we plan to hire 10,000 this year for our
Mm.
guidance counselors and school guidance advocates. That's the plan of the Department of Education so that we are able to respond to the mental health issues and concerns of our learners. And there are other expenses that will be incurred in terms of training our trainers on mental health intervention, guidance offices being converted into mental health intervention offices in school settings, and other programs under the Bureau of Learner Support Services.
May a healthy ratio po ba? Have you identified a specific ratio to meet? For example, one school is to how many X number of guidance
Well,
counselors?
ideally, one guidance counselor to 500 students, ideally, even for private schools. But of course, we know that there's a dearth of guidance counselors, and that's why we're actively pursuing the hiring of our school guidance advocates in
Oo.
order to fill that gap.
Sa ngayon, ilan po ang meron po natin?
Guidance counselors, sorry, I do not have the figures yet, but it's just around, if I'm not mistaken, 5,000.
Napakaliit ho, no? So this will
Napakalit po
triple the
talaga,
number
oo. Yun
of
po
guidance
talaga kaya tayo
counselors.
magkakaroon ng mga guidance advocates and counselors, school guidance counselors, yeah.
And so this 2.9 billion allocation is mainly for that.
Uh,
Or
um,
what else would be under this mental health budget?
there will be other expenses for youth formation activities, not simply for mental health and anti-bullying. Um, we have also school-based services, health services, and other referral mechanisms. So that forms part of the 2.9 billion.
Okay. Have you been able to identify in your research the causes of bullying incidents in schools? What are the
Well,
top reasons?
top reasons for bullying. Sometimes it's actually the problem at home that is more brought to the school. Number two is congestion also. Because if you're too congested in certain, for instance, in some areas in Metro Manila or some schools in Metro Manila, it also accounts for bullying cases.
So those are the top two reasons, yung family issues and then congestion.
Yeah, yeah.
Oo. So I want to go to the first point, no, yung sa family, no. And so this is more of a voluntary program. If parents want to enroll themselves in this Kaagapay program, then there is that mechanism that will train them um, on parenting and how
On
to deal with the
parenting.
mental health. Is there a standard set of values that you will teach, no? Or strategies in parenting that you will teach? Or ito po ay bahala na dun sa organisasyon na magbababa?
There will be a standard way of doing it, and focus also on the themes that need to be trained. So, for instance, in socio-emotional and value support, we reinforce the personal, social, and moral competencies introduced through our subjects such as GMRC, values education, and homeroom guidance. But as to specifics, I think DepEd is still crafting it together with our CSO partners. But that we will be able to have one prior to the training this summer.
Well, the first problem that you mentioned is a much more complex
Yeah.
challenge, right? But the second one, the congestion, is probably the one that will be or could be easily addressed by this Kaagapay program. When will be the start of the rollout?
uh, Next school year, specifically in June. But if there are some pilot regions already that we are looking into, like for instance, 2 divisions per region, so that when we finally have our rollout in June, then we have a better grasp of how to do it better.
Okay.
I mean, implement
Maraming
it better.
salamat, ASEC, for telling us all about this program, and we do hope it does produce results. Iba na po yung mga problema ng kabataan ngayon.
Yeah, yeah.
Lalong-lalo na,
That's
no,
why we really
sa
need parents eh.
kailangan talaga ng kaagapay. Hindi lang ng mga teacher, pwede ng mga parents in doing this and addressing this. Thank you so much for your time today. We have ASEC Jocelyn
you.
Andaya of the Department of Education.